Happy Friday. Was able to find a couple trades today. Market sold off like crazy. Honestly can't remember the last time we had a sell-off like this during normal trading hours, and happy to still be alive afterwards because it traditionally does not work very well for me. So happy to still be kicking, and yeah, hope you enjoy the recap from today's Friday stream. Yo, happy Friday. Welcome. This is a special Friday. If you remember, yesterday was our 69th trading day on these Apex accounts. And the crazy part is that I took one trade yesterday. It was a $100 loser across all the accounts, and I took it within the 1 p.m. to 1:30 central window when Rhythmic went down. My accounts got reset, just like yesterday didn't even happen. So it's the 69th trading day again. Happy Friday. Okay, this has a floating P&L. Gary, I don't know what's going on with that. It was doing it yesterday. There is nothing. I have nothing working. It's a Sierra chart glitch, and I don't know how to change it. There is no position on. Let's see. News wise, I think we got stuff, but I think next week's we got a lot of stuff, right? We had PCE at 7:30. We'll have to look at the charts to see what happened there, and then PMI at 8:45, and that's it. Monday of next week we get PMI, ISM, and then JOLTS, and then PMI, and then jobless. Next week is going to be a little bit more interesting. We have other news. Kind of funny that we had our cheesy joke yesterday, which was ban pre-shredded cheese, make America great again. Happened to be on the day that Trump is allegedly guilty of 34 crimes or whatever. So we'll see how the market, it doesn't look like the market gives a flying F about that, to be honest, but you never know. I did see that Apex had mentioned they were going to try and upgrade their Rhythmic servers, or help Rhythmic upgrade their servers. I said it yesterday, I'll say it again. Rhythmic has a pretty strong arm monopoly on the industry in some capacity, at least our portion of the industry. And there's some room for disruption. The problem is that all of these props are now so intertwined with Rhythmic that it would be massive. It's Apex making trades for you. It would be such a massive disruption, but and like probably wouldn't work, but man, there's some room for it. This up here is not a Rhythmic problem. This is not Rhythmic. This is not Apex. This is not Edge Clear. This is a Sierra chart. I can fix it by deleting all of this. The problem is that then I lose the data, but I just don't know if it might be worth it. All right, problem fixed. Well, we should talk about the markets finally, seeing as that was a little bit of a distraction. Here we go. Yesterday I ended up having some crazy price action at the end of the day. I don't know if y'all watched that, but we had a really nice slap, really nice pump. A lot of things were going on yesterday at the close. We ended up breaking the lows from yesterday on the overnight down at 480, almost to 420, huh? 80 to 20 rotation. If we get down to the overnight lows again, I'll be on watch for that 40 to 80 or 80 to 20 rotation. We are below value area lows. We're sitting on bouncing off VWAP right now, but if we slap through VWAP at 580, I'd expect the rotation to 480. We're right at yesterday's close. If we get back above value area low, rejecting value area low makes sense. Rejecting yesterday's point control makes sense. That's both where the overnight high session rejected. So if we go back up there, I probably imagine that we pop it, get that rotation up to value area high, but we'll see. Just kind of the way that I'm planning on playing it. All right, dad joke of the day. May 31st, the last day of the month. Friday. I child-proofed my house, but the kids still get in. Yesterday's is so good. I mean, it's still a good one. This is like a true dad joke. You got true dad joke today. Okay, honestly, this reminds me of one that Dave would write in the chat. He gives us like a family style dad joke almost every day. That one gives me Dave vibes for sure. How was your night? Looking fresh? It was fun. Went to a event for LLS. I participated in the auction. First time I've ever done one of those. Been to a few like auction events, and I just never see anything that I think is a deal or that deserves it. I did the silent auction. I just bid it on my phone. Got a little lake party, yacht party for 10 of my friends. So that's gonna be fun. That was a byproduct of last night. I told y'all when we were doing it that we were a part of a bigger team. We raised obviously $11,000. The team raised $56,000 or $57,000, which is pretty epic. My buddy put it all together. So we did total $57,000 for LLS because we are a part of a bigger community. Pretty sick, huh? It was kind of a tearjerker night, though, to be honest. They had a bunch of survivors coming in talking, and it was like heavy in a good way. Heavy in a good way. Fun night, though. Ended up going out after it. I had the best night of sleep I've had all week. Even with some boozies in my system. I realized that I've just been thinking about the payout stuff so much. Feeling like disappointed in myself for breaking a rule that I knew I shouldn't do, and then having to tell y'all about it and the accountability circle and all of that. And I think it was like causing me to not sleep too much. And so I slept like a baby last night since it's all under the bridge now. And I was like reflecting on my blow up day, and I'm feeling pretty good about payout still for this next payout period. I feel like I haven't done anything wrong. So I don't know. We'll see. But I'm feeling good so far. No judgments here, Matt. Yeah, it's not even like it's even in a judgment-free zone, which I do agree that. Well, actually, I know there's a lot of people here who judge, but even in a judgment-free zone, I think that accountability is hard, no matter what, right? Like, it's more hard on yourself than the other people, right? The other people are listeners. A lot of times, it's up to you to be the one to speak it, and that's the hard part. Cracking a little bit back below VWAP, trend down short term is still kind of playing 0.2% off yesterday's close at 608 or whatever that is. Juice wise, fairly even across the board. Nothing too crazy. Liquidity wise, I mean, this is technically the short op right here, right? As far as like the little channel goes, it would be something like this probably. Still a fairly cheap trade. The problem is that Delta just kind of looks good, to be honest, as of right now. But the channel is holding pretty well. Yeah, I mean, not bad here. 61. Basically giving up 4 or 5 points with a Delta divergence. Okay, sick. Okay, I'm filled. It's a stop out. Looks like an insta stop, but maybe not. Most likely though. Yep, there's the insta stop. I'm down $90. Right before I got filled, it was looking good enough, but that's a 4-point trade, that 4.5 point trade that it's worth a take for me based on what we saw here. The little sweep out, huh? That's okay. On to the next. I'm down $1,800 off of that, but 4 points is there's 4 points to be found in today's action, that's for sure. Another opportunity into the 70s could be pretty interesting, following the trend to the downside, right? Something like this. Something like that, pretty interesting to me. But we do have a little bit of buyers going on, so. Did we test this wick perfectly and I just missed it? We did. I didn't see that. Didn't see it. Well, I'm down 4.5 points, $90 per times 20 accounts. Everything I'm about to say is going to be a little silly unless you've been around the channel for a long time, in which case you understand what I'm about to say because you've seen the flip side. I'm pretty happy I'm down 4.5 points right now. This type of price action to me is typically pretty hard to trade. Obviously, it's trending down. I just have a hard time. I don't really enjoy shorting, to be perfectly honest. Some people love only shorting. I have a really... Wow, what's up with that? How much was just put in there? 600? I don't really enjoy shorting. I mean, we got volume way down here right now. I don't really enjoy shorting, and slow kind of grindy downside moves typically like F me. So that being said, we just put in a ton of volume down here. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen in the magical 20s? I mean, we're moving and grooving right now for sure. That's a, I mean, that little sweep is 20 points. Why bias against shorts? It's not necessarily a bias. It's I have a hard time. I love going with the market to the long side. I don't necessarily mind shorting either. I was looking for several shorts today. It's just I didn't get the fill. It didn't pop enough for me to feel comfortable with it. And I don't feel comfortable market shorting lows of a session, personally. So overall, I think that personally, I think it's good to be exposed to the long side overall because stocks go up, right? But I'm totally fine with being short if I can catch a little bit of a pullback or something into like an untested wick. It's just like the things that I like to take when I'm trading, like my quote unquote A+ setups are just, they're not here right now. So what does that mean? Don't take anything. I mean, that was 80 points. Is that right? 440. Oh no, 60 points with one little green candle on the session so far. We melted 620 to 360, 250 points or 60 points with 2 green candles. And this one is like questionable at best. Like, we're just not really getting any sort. It's a true melter. True melter. Let's find a nice short here, Matt. Well, here's the thing is that the short that I want is going to be IB. That's the short that I'm going to want. And I would probably want it like that, honestly. Short IB into the 80s would be like, I think pretty doable. Maybe it's more like this. But I think that's a very good looking play. Even that. For like wick to wick. Playing a little bit of the zone here. That looks pretty solid to me, to be honest, but who knows if it's going to happen. We have not really gotten any signs of life. I mean, Delta's going crazy, right? But we haven't really had any true signs of life on this whole move to the downside. So here's a question for you, chat. Why is Delta going up like crazy when price is going down like crazy? What could be happening? A DCA killer day? Yeah, this is 100% a great example of a day where there's plenty of people out there who are getting blown up right now because they stacked 80, they stacked 40, they stacked 500, they stacked 80, they stacked 40, they stacked 400, they stacked 80. It's a scary game, man. Scary game. Huh. The answer is that we don't really know, I think. But what I like to think is, one, Delta goes crazy because you don't really have that many people buying it and the bid is just getting removed, right? On these types of days where you don't have hardly any buy up at all and it just kind of melts away without any aggressive selling, it makes me think, one, we don't have a ton of people that are market selling. We obviously have a little bit of people that will market buy, maybe getting out of their sells, right? They're just closing positions, making Delta look crazy, right? Covering shorts or whatever you want to call it. It could also just be like the algorithms are just straight up pulling the bid to where there's not a need to have any sort of aggressive buying in order for price to go down. I mean, this is not a really like high volume move down at all. Like, and it makes sense, right? We're spread out we're like very spread out. Or a big accumulation by big players for some upside next week. Yeah, maybe. But also look at where we're at, right? We're in kind of a dead volume zone, just straight up. It makes sense that we move quick through here to find out where the other volume was, right? I mean, we move volume to volume typically. So if we're going to move volume to volume and we're going to move quick through the dead volume, what does that mean when you zoom in on it? It means you're still going to move even quicker through the dead volume. That's my interpretation of it all. I know there's some order flow bros that are cringing in their seats right now at my interpretation, but that's all it is interpretation. Yo, Bradis with the 5. Cheers, man. Appreciate it. Cheers. Okay, this is a nice push. Pretty nice push. I mean, that's 40 points in 3 minutes. Pretty mellow. We'll see if I get IBL or not. Kind of thinking I don't, but we'll see. Damn, Greenline Algo stomped it, huh? Interesting spot here at 350. I'm going to take a stab long here. The wiggle room it's a cheap trade for me to give it a shot. And I like it, really, I like it up into the 60s. I just don't know if that's going to happen. But I like it into like kind of the bottom of the range. A little bit of buyers trying to step up. I like that we just barely floated the low on this one. But again, who knows? A little bit of size still down here, so. I mean, if we actually catch the bid here and flip this green, like watching for 80s is also not a bad idea, but that's a long way away. I'm talking before we're even doing it, so. Like I'm talking like looking at like the, whatever this is, the 1.5 standard deviation, something like that. Looks pretty solid, but that's a very big play for this time of day. 10:15, right? Or almost 10:15. Everything starts slowing down a little bit usually. I'm gonna go ahead and move this to break even. I'm not interested in losing money on this trade, but I'd like to see if we can get some legs to push it a little bit. Should have taken the 10 points. Matt, don't be greedy. Don't be greedy, Matt. Should have taken the 10 points. I had $200 there. I could have flipped it green on the day, been up $100. But I didn't. I wanted the move into the 80s. I thought it was looking pretty good, honestly. I thought that we had like good buyers, and I was like, we're gonna pop into that 1.5 pretty clean here. Instead, I took a break-even stop, which, like I said, I'm happy I had it break even. I don't want to lose any money on that trade. Keep it tight, right? As we're kind of I'm kind of fading the move, but I should have taken the 10 points. I think it went to 10 points. I'm like 90% sure it went to 10 points. A little greedy.